Hey everyone, it's Jennifer from Perfectly Balanced Co. Right now we are moving through a transit where the sun is activating gate 36 and the earth is holding us in the grounding energy of gate 6. This combination creates a really interesting emotional landscape. Gate 36 is the energy of experience, emotional intensity, and courage to move through the unknown. It is the energy that says life is meant to be lived even when things feel messy, uncertain, or deeply emotional. Gate 6, on the other hand, is the gate of emotional boundaries and intimacy. It teaches us when to open, when to hold back, and how emotional clarity shapes the connections we create with others. Together, these two gates often bring up moments where we are learning through real-life experiences, relationships, and emotional honesty. And one of the things I love about human design is that it isn't just theory, it's lived experience. So instead of only talking about what these gates mean conceptually, I invited two people who actually carry these energies strongly in their charts to share their real life experiences. Each one of them has lived with these gates shaping their life in different ways. Through their stories, you'll hear how the themes of emotional experience, boundaries, intimacy, and transformation show up in real relationships, careers, and life decisions. The goal of these conversations is not to define these gates in a rigid way. It's to let you feel how these energies move through real human lives. Because when we understand that these archetypes are lived through people just like us, human design becomes something much more powerful. So as you listen, notice what resonates for you. You might hear parts of your own experience reflected back. You might recognize someone in your life who carries this energy. Or you might simply gain a deeper understanding of the emotional themes that are moving through the collective right now. So let's begin. Our first interview is with Laura Di Pasquale, and her 36 is in her design sun, and her 6 is in her design earth. So let's see how that plays out for her.
So I finished my PhD in Manchester, in the
Mm-hmm.
UK,
Mm-hmm.
and now I came back to rest a bit and spend some time with my mum in Sicily.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember, I just checked somebody I knew, a professor, where he was, and I saw that he went back to Sicily. So I wrote to him, and we're gonna meet in a week. And suddenly I
Yeah.
noticed that although he has followed another route, our paths, like we're looking at the same topics. So suddenly
Yeah.
it became, wow, maybe I can actually come back and do something
Yeah.
here. And then I started to think, wow, I thought it was impossible, but actually I might like
Mm-hmm.
this. So now I'm gonna meet him in 2 weeks, and I'm a
Yeah.
bit kind of, oh, wow, this is like something new that I hadn't considered. That is
Mm-hmm.
like, and I hadn't seen him for 10 years, and I wrote to him. He's like, of course, I remember you. So
Yeah.
that has been like a big woof, kind of, I want to do
Yes.
this, and things just
Yeah.
worked nicely. And
Yeah.
it is very much about community. It's like I never
Yes.
thought I would work. I never thought I could work in Sicily, where I'm from.
So Laura and I got started right off the bat talking about how changes in her life were currently happening and how they tie to transit moves and her experience of them.
Particular phase,
Mm-hmm.
a complete transit phase, in the sense that I submitted my PhD and I'm waiting for my exam.
Yeah.
And maybe instead of, apart from the first few days of panic, now I'm kind of making a strategy of what I already see is problematic in what I submitted, and I'm
Mm.
preparing for it.
So if you don't know charts yet, what this chart is saying is basically that Laura is a manifester because she has the energy center connected to the throat and no sacral center lit up. And she uses her solar plexus to make decisions. So you heard her say that she's seeing in what she's submitted the problems afterwards. This is the emotional process of having an experience like 36, having an experience that's new, 35, that is now processing that information, gaining more information of what works and what doesn't work for her by using a little bit of discernment with gate 6.
Get it?
Yeah.
Because that has been a pattern that now I started to recognize because I feel always a bit unsettled and in
Mhm.
chaos, but then
Yes.
people find me that I have peace and that I'm
Yes.
reassuring and that's trying and then now
Yes.
and then like I had a huge road accident when I was 27
Mm-hmm.
with a traumatic brain injury. I had to do rehabilitation, so it was a huge
Mm.
event.
Yeah.
And I recovered quickly,
Yeah.
kind of, but then I kept of being disoriented and worried about it for a long time.
Yeah.
And then I decided to try to make a documentary about it. And then it became a PhD. So my
Okay.
PhD is actually about that. I went to look for other people who had a traumatic brain injury, and together we found ways. We reflected on the strategies that we have used, but we also
Mm-hmm.
found new ones.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
that's kind of, for me, I feel kind of, I kind of say, but this is just common sense. And
Yes.
the others say,
Yes.
no, 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 this is amazing. So I
Yes.
understand it, that
Because,
that is like my skill or my capacity.
yes.
Yeah.
So here's where we get to the meat and potatoes of Gate 36. Laura shared her experience of her traumatic brain injury and her process of healing, and how that experience became the documentary that created the submission for her PhD. So, what you'll find in transit when 36 shows up is sometimes there is a major life changing event. Sometimes it's small, sometimes it's large, but 36 brings us something that can really take us off of our pedestal, I'll say, to teach us and show us something that may or may not change the trajectory of our life, but definitely supports us in the process of becoming who we are. If you can look back on your life, and I know you told me a little bit already about having the traumatic brain trauma experience, but if you can look back on your life, and if it is that one, you can just go into more detail of that, and tell me like some of the deep emotional experiences that you've had and what it's taught you, like traumatic
Mm.
or chaotic
Yeah.
experiences that really changed the way you look at life or the way that you behave.
Mm, maybe one was when I'm from a town in the center of Sicily, and I was feeling I don't like it here, and I started to dream. One day I saw something about like a TV advert about an international school.
Mhm,
And that was like for 5 years, that was like when I grow up, I'll get there. But it was just with the scholarship was really hard.
mhm,
But that was like whenever I was down, that was like, ooh, this will happen. And then actually I managed to get a scholarship and I went there and that changed my life. So I
mhm.
think that kind of taught me that it's worth trying.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you had like a urge, a feeling to go there, and you trusted it and followed it, and it all worked out.
Yeah. And yeah, that if you really want something, even if it seems impossible, it's worth to try and it might happen.
Yeah, yeah,
And I think this is all, and yeah. And I think I always kind of tried difficult things or things
mm,
like, but always say, but well, I can always come back. It's like a
yeah.
game. Kind of make it, I fool myself making them seem easy.
Yes, yes, yeah. So you don't
So
shy
that
away
was, I
from
did that when I
challenge.
was 16. I've done through the big things. I say, well, but it's just a little bit, and then I can change if I want to.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe that.
That's a really good point there. I think a lot of people, when they see something that's super challenging and or that it might be life-changing or difficult, their nature is to pull back and feel safe. And for you to be like, well, you can always come back to where you started, you know? Like it doesn't have to be this big thing. You can trick yourself into thinking that it is easy and keep going for it. That's a huge skill.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't sit as still, but it's like I'm restless. I cannot just wait. It's worse for me to just stand.
So here we get to look at her natural process of moving through chaos and crisis energy. And she came out with some really good skills on how to use this energy.
Still and wait.
Yeah. Yeah. Are there
Yeah.
any relationships that you had that you felt were like deeply emotional and shaped the way that you interact with other people?
Mm, I don't know. I think I find this hard. Um, I've had important love relationships, some good, some bad. Maybe the fact that the first one was very positive, it still kept me. I kind of trust people and I always think the best. But
Hmm.
then that's not what always happens. I
Yes.
don't know if that shaped me or if that was already there. It's hard to tell.
Hard to tell. Yeah. Yeah.
And then there are old, and then I've had some relationship even short with someone, some older people,
Hmm.
both sentimental relationship that other kind of relationship. And I always felt like my urge to know and learn, it kind of, yeah, it's hard to tell. I don't know. They, yes, they shape my, they help me to feel more secure in
Hmm.
myself, maybe.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel like your relationships nowadays feel a lot healthier than they were earlier in your life?
No.
They're still chaotic. Yeah.
Um, I find it hard to have, in terms of friendship and social relationships, yes, I'm
Mhm.
fine.
Yeah.
I have friendships at first sight. I usually
Yeah.
know straight away, and then they last for years.
Yeah.
And now I changed country to start my PhD, and I was okay. Maybe I'll be okay even without friends, and it happened again. I find my people easily. I
Hmm.
don't need many,
Yeah.
and uh, s- people see me as super sociable. I spend loads
Hmm.
of time on my own, but I have two, three trusted people wherever I go, and that's good. So in that sense, yes. Love relationship, no. I find it hard because I still don't understand what type I should go for. While when I was
Yeah.
younger, it was easier. Now it's hard because I don't understand where I should go for them. Sometimes I go for the secure people, but then they're a bit narcissist, and that's wrong. Or the tender ones, and then they don't know what they want, and after a while, I become a
Bored.
mother or I tell them off, and
Yes.
so I need equal relationship, and it's hard.
Yes. Yeah. So here we get to talk about her sixth gate, where she has this open availability to make friends, but also a good, healthy boundary on not overdoing the relationships, keeping it small and supportive for her. If someone right now was currently in a, like, we'll say a medium crisis level, like right before they get into a high crisis, what is something that you wish someone had said to you in that moment that you could now say to them?
That it will change,
Mm.
that things will change,
Yeah,
whether
yeah.
you do something or not.
It will change. And she ended with the most beautiful note that things will change, whether you do something about it or not. Life is constantly changing. As we close out this conversation, take a moment to notice what stood out for you. Gate 36 and Gate 6 together remind us that some of the most meaningful growth in our lives comes through experience, not through having everything figured out ahead of time, but through moving through moments that ask us to feel deeply, to learn about our boundaries, and to understand what intimacy and emotional truth really mean for us. What you heard today is just one lived expression of this archetype, and tomorrow I'll be posting another. Every person carries these energies in their own unique way, shaped by their chart, their environment, and the experiences that they've moved through. So if something in this conversation resonated with you, that may be an invitation to get curious about your own design, to notice where your emotional experiences have shaped you, where your boundaries have taught you something, and where life may be asking you to step into the unknown with a little more awareness. Thank you for being here and for exploring these energies with us. If you'd like to continue learning about how daily transit interacts with your own human design chart, you're always welcome to join us inside the Perfectly Balanced community. We explore these energies together every day, looking at how they show up in real life and how we can work with them in supportive and practical ways. Until next time, take care of yourself and stay curious about the energy moving through your life.